Hey there, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. We are merely a few days off winter and it's raining and horrible outside right now. It's dark. So, this is a perfect, almost winter warmer. It is called vegetable and coconut curry. Here is what we need. And we are going to be serving this with rice. So, as well as these ingredients, which I'm going to talk you through in a moment, we are also going to need a food processor, a saucepan with a lid, and a stirring stick. So I've been chopping up all the ingredients. So let's talk through those. Okay, first of all, 1 onion roughly chopped, 3 garlic cloves thinly sliced. My garlic cloves are still in the freezer. They work just fine when I'm cooking them because you do cook them anyway. 2.5 centimetre piece of fresh ginger, which we've thinly sliced. That was the same thing. I tricked you. That's there. 2 fresh green chilies, de-seeded and finely chopped. Now, I didn't put gloves on. Thought I washed my hands. And I've just given my eye a little bit of a tickle and it went, ouch. Lucky I've got eye drops. All right, so that's that one there. So wear gloves if you're going near the seeds, okay? Otherwise, it might not be your eye that cops it. 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil. Haven't measured that out yet. That's veggie oil. 1 teaspoon of ground turmeric. 1 teaspoon of ground cumin. Nearly had enough, but I thought I'd better grab another packet anyway, so that's that one there. 1 kilo of mixed vegetables. The recipe recommended the following, so this is what I used. Cauliflower, which I've cut up into florets. Zucchini, which I've sliced up. Potato, which I have cut up and put into water. You can't see it, so I'll just show you a piece. There you go. That's a potato. Carrot, which I have sliced into slices. Green beans, which I have just topped and tailed and cut into chunks rather than use what was in the freezer. Good thing about working with fruit and veg is I can grab what I need when I need it. 200 grams of coconut cream or milk. Now I have had some in the bottom of the freezer for a while. On it, show you what it says. Oh, I don't know. I can't see it to there. It says somewhere on here, do not freeze. I Googled it. Apparently you can use it if you've frozen it. Just give it a really good stir. 200 mils and 200 grams is apparently also the same thing because I Googled that the other day as well. So I was very excited to finally be able to get that out of the bottom of the freezer so that I can get that cleared out and then defrost it. It'll take all day, but anyway. Salt and pepper. Cha-ching. 2 tablespoons of fresh coriander. That's to serve. So what I do is I chop it up, pop it in the freezer with the date on it. So that's from not too long ago. And we're going to serve it with rice. So I will cook up some basmati rice at a later stage. All right, so it's fairly straightforward because it's basically just going in the big pot. We're going to let it simmer for, I think it's about half an hour until all the veggies are tender, and then we're going to dish it up. So let's go. Okay, I think I told a little bit of a lie about that. We're going to make a, what do you call it? A curry paste first. Okay, so get your food processor ready. Into the food processor, we are adding the onion, the garlic, the ginger, and the chilies. So when you do anything like that, take the time to get all your ingredients ready because it's so much easier. Okay, so everything's in here. So we are actually making our curry paste rather than just opening a jar and getting a couple of tablespoons. In we go. Chop it all up nice and fine. It needs to be almost smooth. Almost. Now, because this food process is really old, I have to keep stopping it. And I'll just keep grabbing a spoon and just brushing down the sides. So we want to start and get it, well, it's got to become a paste. There's no start to get it's about it. So it may take a while to chop it up. Obviously, most people would have a newer food processor than me. It's still working. I've got a spare one. The spare one's still even pretty old, but this one's very old. We tend to keep things for a long time in my family. It's just the way I was brought up. It ain't broken, don't fix it. Not like today's generation, but I guess to be fair, most things are not made to last anymore as well, which is really, really a shame. Okay, so I haven't got it super smooth, but it's on its way, so I'm leaving it at that. So we're going to head over to the stovetop and get started on this. So first up, add your 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil. I've sprayed the inside because I will thank myself, obviously, when it comes time to wash up. And I'm going to bring over the curry paste, the green curry paste. There we go. Let's crank up the heat. People tell me things cook easier when you turn the heat on. Duh. Okay, so that's just what I've got in there. And let's start and get all of this in. As it said, make sure you've got it smooth. You can stand here all day and try and get it super smooth, or you can leave a little bit of a consistency chunk in it. I'm going to leave a little bit of a chunk in it, just so we know what we're eating. And last week, some exciting news. I have started this week I should say, I have started my MasterChef application. I think, counting, this is my 5th year of trying. So we'll just cross our fingers. It's a very slow process because I'm only doing the application 1 question at a time a day because I've got so much else to do and I'm not hurrying to get it done. I want to make sure that everything's perfect. And obviously, the way I don't see it as a bad thing if I don't get on. I see it as another year of creating videos and more learning. I've never made curry paste before, so I'm learning even today. And this recipe here I will keep in my head because making curry paste is probably better than opening a jar. And this would be so versatile with anything you want to cook, chicken or fish or whatever. So we want to stir this for a few minutes just to get it super, super fragrant. So that's what it looks like. And I've got it cranked up really high. There we go. Whew. I was just reading through the ingredients list and I missed an ingredient when I was writing it down. 1 teaspoon of ground coriander. Fortunately, I have that in stock. Why is it telling me to add the coriander if I'm adding it on the top? So I will add it to the sheet, which you will see at the end. 1 teaspoon ground coriander. And I will gather that. There you go. Read your recipe. Just turning it down a little bit. It doesn't really need to be super hot. And I'll get ready to start and add these spices. Okay, so we're going to add the cumin, the turmeric, and the coriander that I only just realised that I needed, which I'm going to have to do 2 half teaspoons because the 1 teaspoon is in the sink with all the chopping boards. And not the knives, because I don't put knives in the sink. Things that stick with you when you're younger, do not put knives in the sink. And so I never do. Alright. Get that extra fragrant. Oh, yum. Okay. Drain off your potato and then let's get our veggies in. Cauliflower. Potato. Carrot, beans, and zucchini. And I didn't weigh it to see if it was a kilo, but I'm assuming it should be close enough. That one, and that one. All right, we're going to give it a good stir. We want all of that to coat all of the veggies. So let's do this. Here we go. Stir it around. Ew, don't lose that. I get a little bit carried away when I stir, don't I? Whoopsies. There we go. All right, that's all our veggies. They're all coated. You can see the potatoes starting to go yellow. Add the coconut cream. Cover and simmer for 30 to 40 minutes until the vegetables are tender. Now I'm also going to deglaze the pots or the packet. And that's mainly because in my mind I feel like I need a bit more water. So I'm putting a bit more water in mine. That one's going out to the bin. All right. So you can use coconut cream or coconut milk. Feel free to use whatever you want, but I am adding extra liquid because I feel like it's going to need it. Deglaze it all. So by adding the extra water, I've probably diluted it a little bit, but as you can see, we've got a bit of liquid in there that way. We're going to simmer it for 30 minutes and I'll see you then. So while that's simmering away for another 15 minutes, but then we're going to make sure the veggies are done, we are going to get started on some rice. So normally I've got a measuring cup, which will tell you the cup size as to how much it serves, but we're just going to guess because this should serve about 4. I don't think I said that in the beginning. So we're just going to add some rice. Cover it with just enough hot water, or water, doesn't really have to be hot. We're going to pop it in the microwave using the absorption method, and we just stir it with a fork. So 5 minutes in the microwave with no lid on, because it will absorb it quicker that way. Forgot to say that, didn't I? Whoops. You can do stovetop method. That does take longer, that's all. Find it just easier to do it with this. Try and fluff it with a fork. So I just gave it a stir to fluff it up with a fork. There's still a little bit of moisture in it, so I'm giving it a minute bursts now. So our buzzer's gone off, but we need to make sure that our veggies are cooked. Otherwise, there's no point in dishing it up. I'm just giving the rice another minute and a half with a little bit more water in it because it's nearly ready. And these veggies are not ready yet. So we're going to give it another stir and crank it up and probably give it another 10 minutes. But it is looking and smelling amazing. So we are on the right track. You can either do your veggies chunky, which means it is going to take longer, or you can cut them smaller. But to me, I think a veggie curry, you need chunky bits. So we're pretty high up with the temperature, and I don't want to burn off all of the sauce. So I'm just going to give it the extra 10 minutes because the recipe suggested 30 to 40 minutes anyway. See you soon. I don't want to burn out all the paste. That looks amazing. I'm just going to stab things to see if they're done. Okay, cauliflower is still a bit tender. Carrot is still a little bit tender, but it is going to be warmed up. Potatoes okay. So we're going to dish it up and I'll show you some photos. Thank you for watching this episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. This has been vegetable and coconut curry. Enjoy this on a cold winter's night. Bye! Guys, I almost forgot. Put salt and pepper in it and some coriander. Oops. I might be a little bit hangry. Pepper as much as you like. Not too much. Salt. Add it or don't add it. It's entirely up to you on that one. And then just sprinkle the coriander on top. I didn't weigh the veggies to see if there was a kilo in there. I'm only putting a bit of salt in there. I'm sort of trying to cut back on some things that are naughty. You do need a little bit of salt though. And then just this coriander that is frozen, but obviously defrosted by now because I got it out this morning. All right, try again. See you on the next one.